Welcome back to Paris Underground Radio's The Heart of You. My name is Annette Deleu, and this is our third episode about energy protection and clearing. Every single one of us can relate to the experience of walking into a room and feeling like something is just off. Either you feel the people that are in the room are not necessarily people that you would connect with, or maybe it's just the space in general. But we've all had that feeling of, I don't know if I want to be here. And a lot of that has to do with energy. Today we are going to talk about a few things that you can do to protect your energy before you even leave the house, as well as things that you can do to clear your energy after you've experienced something that is either negative or unpleasant. We all know that energy is contagious. We all have that one friend that when they laugh, we laugh even harder because that joy and that laughter is completely contagious. And likewise, if we have a friend who is going through a really rough time, you might be able to feel some of that sadness due to your empathic nature. Protecting and clearing your energy are two of the most important things that you need to do before you start delving into things like manifestation or divination, doing tarot card readings, that sort of thing. The reason for this is that you want to make sure that when you are working with any sort of communication with the universe, or if you are trying to manifest something, you need to make sure that you are completely sovereign in your energy and that you have nothing that is influencing the outcome of the reading or the manifestation. Let's begin really simply. Every morning when I wake up, I start off with a very brief meditation, and I basically imagine a beautiful ball of divine light protection that is emanating from my heart space and extending out either 6 feet or, if you will, 2 meters in every single direction. So imagine it like a giant sphere extending from your body. Now, this beautiful ball of protection can be any color you like. And in fact, a lot of times when I'm creating this bubble, my higher self will tell me what that color should be. Usually that is based on potential experiences I might have that day, or it could have to do with my chakra system. If one of my chakras needs an extra little boost for that day, then that color might come into play with my bubble of protection. Now, it might sound a little bit ridiculous that just imagining a ball of protection around you actually works, but trust me, it does. Do a little experiment. Go about your day just normally as you would, and then the next day, put your bubble of protection around you, and then the day after that, don't put the bubble of protection around you, and see what a difference it actually makes in your energy and how the energy flows for the day. This is particularly effective when you know you are going to see somebody who, let's say, is pretty negative on a regular basis, or somebody that you have a really challenging relationship with. You will notice a larger difference when you're having those types of experiences with this protection bubble. And it doesn't just insulate you. What it does is it basically protects you from the other person's energy being invasive in your auric field. Here is a little example of what I mean by that. We have all been in a car sitting in traffic with nobody going anywhere. Everybody's honking. Everybody's angry. And that is a really good example of collective energy that is infectious. A lot of the feelings you might be feeling during that traffic jam, frustration, anger, then you start getting irritated at the other people in the car with you, Some of that is not actually your energy. It is the collective energy and frustration of everyone around you. So imagine if you have 100 people in a small radius of this traffic jam, and they are all feeling that same emotion of anger and frustration. It is amplified times 100. So if you can be just that one person to be able to protect your energy and stay out of that anger and frustration, that can actually change the energy of the people around you. You can be that person who turns on the awesome song in the car and starts dancing to it when everyone else is pretty angry about the traffic jam. So that is something that will aid you in remembering how energy can be infectious. In addition, how to be able to overcome what other energies might be coming your way. When you are first starting out with your protection shield, it's going to feel a little weak. You're not going to feel like it's up all the time, and you might have to actually imagine that beautiful ball of light emanating from your heart space several times throughout the day. It's very much like going to the gym where you have to exercise that many, many times, and the more you do it, the stronger it gets. So now I basically just have to put that bubble of protection up once in the morning, and I don't have to worry about it or think about it for the rest of the day. If I am in a challenging situation, I will in fact put up maybe an extra bubble of protection that is specific to that particular situation. Sometimes you might think, well, if you're in a challenging situation, that doesn't offer you the opportunity to necessarily do that. I will actually tell you that if you are in a challenging situation, there is absolutely nothing wrong with pausing, excusing yourself, going somewhere else, and taking a very deep breath, finding your center, and putting up your bubble of protection. What that is going to do is change the conversation that you are having with this person or this collective of people. It's going to change your energy. It's going to change how you communicate and whether or not you're communicating from your anger and your fear, or if you're communicating from your heart. Protecting yourself energetically isn't just for the purpose of divination or manifestation. It will actually help you in your day-to-day relationships and interactions with pretty much everybody you come in contact with. I also want to explain that this does not mean that you won't get angry, that you won't get sad, that you won't have frustrations. Of course, you are human. You are going to have these emotions. What this does is it makes sure that you are operating from your emotions alone, that you are not operating from your emotions and the emotions of your children and the emotions of your spouse or the emotions of your friend that you just had a conversation with. You are operating with not only a clear heart, clear head, but also clear energy. We will be right back with the Heart of You after a word from our sponsors.
What bra are you wearing right now? Whether you're smiling from ear to ear because you love your bra, or whether you winced because you're wearing, yet again, something you'd rather not, tune into Paris Undressed, the podcast that goes behind the seams of the lingerie capital of the world. Hi, I'm Kate Kemp Griffin, author and host of Paris Undressed. From boudoir to the street, we'll explore the art of making and wearing French lingerie. We'll meet the designers and brands shaping our bodies and talk to fascinating people about femininity, sensuality, and sexuality. We'll share bra stories, secrets, desires, hopes, and dreams. This is the ultimate special occasion. So put on your favorite bra and tune into Paris Undressed, Tuesdays on Paris Underground Radio.
Welcome back to the Heart of You on Paris Underground Radio. Another useful shield is a reflective bubble. And I'm going to tell you a little story about how I did not use one, and basically the experience that I had wasn't awful, but it was definitely not the experience I was looking for. I was in a seminar for Qigong here in Paris, and it took place over by the airport, which is a good hour and a half away from where I live in central Paris. And essentially, I have to take 2 buses to get there. And I was on my way home from the seminar in the evening. It wasn't too late. It was about 10 o'clock at night. And I was just practicing what I had learned in my Qigong seminar. I was practicing being grounded. I was practicing shining my light. And especially if you are a light worker, you are continuously shining that light. When you are walking down the street at night in the middle of a city, shining your energetic light, it's like a moth to a flame. Basically, every lower energy that wants to feed off of your energy is going to start approaching you. And that's exactly what started happening. I'm waiting at the bus stop. First, this one guy approaches me, and then the next. And there was nothing harmful about these people. You could just tell that they were in lower energies, and they really just wanted to speak to me. They just really wanted to be near my energy. And that's how energetics work. When you are in lower energies, people do feed off of energies of people who are in the yummier and lighter energies. I'm sure you have all heard the term energy vampire. That is essentially what they are referring to, which is somebody who is in some lower energy at that moment and really needs a boost or a pick-me-up, and they can't create that light themselves because they don't know how. So they look for it in the first place they can, which is somebody who already has that light. I went back to the seminar the next day and I spoke to my Qigong master and told him exactly what had happened. And he felt into the energy and said, yes, I see exactly what you were doing. You were shining your light. You were doing all the things we had discussed. But the one thing that you did not do, which is put your reflective bubble of protection around you, so you were not attracting all of the moths to the flame. That night, I tried it with the reflective bubble. And to my surprise, nobody spoke to me. Nobody tried to approach me. I was pretty much completely invisible, which is exactly what I wanted while I was working on my beautiful light energy. The practice of creating a reflective bubble is very similar to just creating your protection bubble. The only difference is you are setting the intention that the exterior of the bubble is a mirror. So whoever is going to look at you in an energetic way, they are simply going to see their own energy reflected back at them. Another great use for this reflective bubble is if you happen to be in a lower energy yourself, whether it's due to drinking or smoking or any sort of substance that you might be taking. And there's no judgment here. It's just a matter of having an extra layer of protection while you are partaking in those activities. And you might ask, well, what is the reason why you need to have extra protection when you are drinking or you have a ton of caffeine in your system or anything like that? And the reason is this. There are many earthbound spirits that are here, people who have passed over and that have not realized that they are, in fact, deceased. So their soul is, in essence, stuck here on earth, not realizing that they need to cross over to the other side. There are plenty of people in the world who can help these souls with that work. Mediums are one of those people who can help people and assist people to go to the other side so they can continue their cycle of reincarnation. Until these spirits can get the help that they need to cross over, they will actually attach themselves to living humans to try to experience some of the things that they experienced in their living realms. So, for example, if somebody was a drug addict and died of an overdose, in their spirit form, if they don't realize that they have actually died, they will seek out other humans who are doing drugs, and they will attach themselves to that person and to that energy so they can feel what it feels like when that person is taking that drug. And it is exactly the same when it comes to drinking, when it comes to smoking, when it comes to pretty much any sort of addictive behavior. This is what is likely going to happen. It's nothing to be super concerned about. They are draining your energy. So you might feel a bit more tired. You might feel a little emotion that is not yours. And that's where the clearing will come into play. But in order to prevent this from happening at all, if you put your bubble of protection around you, let's say before you go out with your friends for a night of drinking or something like that, it's going to offer you just that extra bit of protection so you don't have any other energies that are invading your space. This is also the reason why I tell all of my clients before they get an Akashic reading or before they get an intuitive reading from me that they need to refrain from drinking or any sort of substance 24 hours before the session. And that is simply just to help clear their energy. And prior to the session, we do a little clearing ourselves so we can make sure that all of the information that is coming through, they are able to receive that information and receive it clearly. That brings us to clearing your energy. So what happens if you forget to put your bubble of protection up, or let's say something is really big. It's a big situation. It's a big drama that you just experienced, or simply you were caught off guard and you didn't think you needed to have your bubble of protection up and you just walked straight into a giant fight between two people and then you feel completely drained after leaving that situation. What happens at that point? At that point, you can clear your energy. And this is something that I do every single night before I go to bed. Depending on the situation, there are many, many ways that you can clear your energy. If you follow the moon cycle, full moons are perfect for energy cleansing. So if you want to do full moon cleansing, which I do often, I would recommend doing something like a salt bath. So using Epsom salts and taking a nice long bath, having some soothing music. And simply the salt water will actually cleanse your energy. Obviously, if you live near an ocean, that is ideal. Spend as much time in the salt water as you can. It is incredibly cleansing. Now, if you think about the rest of the cleansing methods that we are going to address here today, they are all attached to a particular element. So previously, we just spoke of salt water. That would be the element of water. Next, we're going to talk about the element of fire. I'm sure you have all been in a yoga studio where they're burning incense, or if you've been to a church or a mosque or a synagogue, they're always burning candles or some sort of resin. And there is a reason why they all do that. It's because it does clear the space. And the reason why people often use smoke to clear a space as opposed to clearing your actual body or clearing your auric field is simply because the smoke can actually reach more places than if you were to use water or any of the other elements. Clearing your space is a great habit to get into, especially if you have not done it before. I would highly recommend you utilize either incense, Palo Santo, sage, anything that you can light and burn safely within your space is going to be incredibly effective. Also, open those windows because obviously the smoke interacts with the air to be able to reach all corners and places around your space. I often also do a little meditation when I am doing my home cleansing, and I just imagine that same beautiful bright light coming from my heart space, from my heart chakra, and imagining that beautiful bright light extending way past the confines of my apartment in all directions, and you would be surprised how much power you actually have to clear your own space. We will be right back with the Heart of You after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, I'm Emily.
And I'm Caroline.
And we live in France, where pretty much every meal demands both a cheese course and a wine pairing.
Amen.
It doesn't need to be a special occasion for you to add this French flair to your daily meals, and we want to help you with that.
That's the thing. A great cheese and a delicious glass of wine can really elevate your at-home dining. However, even if it's a Tuesday night and you're by yourself.
Tuesday night by yourself is the perfect time.
Absolutely.
So get involved. Send us your favorite home meals. Describe the recipe. Let us know what it's all about. And we will put our palates and minds to the test. I'm going to pair it with the most complimentary cheese.
And I am going to figure out a perfect wine pairing.
Tune in on Fridays to hear some of our favorite pairings and to discover some brand new recipes that you can try at home.
Join our guests as we explore how to elevate your home-cooked food.
Can't wait to share these with you. Bon appetit!
Welcome back to the Heart of You on Paris Underground Radio. If you are experiencing some energies in your place, let's say some spirits or some, if you will, ghosts, that you can actually take care of yourself. You can lovingly ask whatever it is. You don't have to know specifically what it is. If it's just an energy, if it's an echo of a previous tenant's energy, whatever it is, all you have to do is simply say, with love, I ask that any energies that do not belong to me and that are not of my highest good, I ask for you to depart from my space, from the confines of this apartment, to be transmuted into light. Again, a full moon is a really wonderful time to do this sort of deep cleansing on your apartment. You don't have to do it on a full moon. You can literally do it any day of the week, anytime. It does not matter. It's just a bit more powerful when you do it with the cycles of the moon. Now that your apartment, your house, your space, your office space, whatever it is that you are clearing is completely clear, you're feeling the great energy, how do you keep that energy clear in your space? Getting a piece of selenite or clear quartz crystal is a really great way to keep that house energy clear while you are going about your day-to-day life. Make sure you tune in to next week's episode where we will be talking all about crystals and how they can aid you in your spiritual journey. Let's get back to that argument that you may have just witnessed between a couple of people, and you are still feeling the effects of it and you really want to clear that energy. The best way to do that on the spot is to simply say, thank you for clearing my energy of anything that does not belong to me. It's that simple. And especially if it is clearly something that has nothing to do with you, you are not involved in that energy at all, it will very easily depart from your energetic field because it does not belong to you. Now, when you are clearing energies that do belong to you, energies that you really would like to let go of because you are stuck in them or you are stuck in cycles with this particular energy, that becomes a little bit more tricky. You can, of course, say the mantra that I just gave you, and that will indeed help. Getting to the bottom of where this energetic blockage is coming from is incredibly important. And this is where seeing a professional, a Reiki specialist, also getting an Akashic reading with me can also help clear some of those energetic cycles. There are many different ways that you can help get rid of the things that no longer serve you. If you are simply talking about the day-to-day energy that you are exposed to, and especially if you are an empath, it is incredibly important to make sure that you understand how to clear yourself every single day so you can make sure that everything you are experiencing in your life is actually for you. Let's get into the daily practice of clearing. Intention is everything. So right before you go to bed, just set the intention that you are clearing your energy of anything that does not belong to you. I want you to then take a deep breath, and on the exhale, imagine a beautiful white light starting at the top of your head. And as you exhale, imagine that white light scanning over the entirety of your body, from the top of your head all the way to the ends of your toes. And do that several times if you need to just get that beautiful divine light energy to clear out anything that is in your auric field and that is attached to your physical body. You can also ask your higher self, your soul, to work on clearing your body and your energetic field while you are sleeping. If you just set those intentions, your soul will go to work while you're sleeping, because we all know that our soul does not sleep. Our soul is very busy while we're sleeping, actually. So that is something that your soul can absolutely do. If you feel like you need a little extra boost of clearing, you can always grab Palo Santo and use the smoke from that to clear yourself. You could also use selenite. You can also use black tourmaline or obsidian and have that right next to your bed, and those actually absorb lower or negative energies. Just make sure you're clearing those crystals often if that's what you're using them for. And that's it. Basically, you can start creating your own ritual for the morning, creating your bubble of protection, and for your evening ritual of clearing those energies. As you practice this, you will develop your own tools. Have fun with this. Don't look at it as a chore. Look at it as something that you can explore with your higher self. If this episode has brought up any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to email me at annette@infinitesoullove.com. I will be doing an episode at the end of the season that will address a lot of the Q&As that you write in. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media at infinitesoullove1111. That is on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you would like to book an intuitive reading, Akashic reading, or clearing with me, feel free to head to my website at www.infinitesoullove.com. Just click on the booking link and you can schedule your session right on the website. I would also like to thank Paris Underground Radio for producing this podcast and many others. Don't forget to head to their website at parisundergroundradio.com and check out all the wonderful podcasts about Parisian living.